Good day, Excellencies, Ministers, Professors, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol duly observed. Thank you so much, Global Forum for Sustainable Rural Development, for this great opportunity. Honestly, I'm not going to take it for granted. I'm Ambassador Chinechere Ihoma, a personal coach, child rights advocate, a voice to the vulnerable children and teenagers in the society, a researcher and author. I run an NGO that provides services for the less privileged and poor in the society. Yeah, today's highlight or today's topic is what a full basket of food in the context of COVID-19. Yeah, before I continue, I want to ask these few questions. Why is there hunger? Why are people hungry? Is that a plan from creation? I think many of us will be wondering why such question, but we will soon understand in due course. We will understand better while the question. Now, the highest hunger levels are still found in Africa south of the Sahara and South Asia. We can combat global hunger and malnutrition, but it takes a holistic approach to ensure long-lasting impact. World hunger is on the rise. Today, nearly 1 in 10 people around the world suffer from hunger, which has increased the mortality rate of children under the age of 5. It is estimated that Africa will need to produce annually 16 million tons more of rice, 43 million tons more of maize, 50 million tons more of wheat, 41 million tons of cassava, 47 million tons more of palm oil, and 14 million tons more of soybean, at least to attaining this goal. We all know about the sustainable goal. Now, the SDGs aim to end all forms of hunger and malnutrition by 2030, making sure all people, especially children, have sufficient and nutritious food all year. UNICEF and the World Food Programme reported that a survey conducted in August in 11 municipalities in Burkina Faso found 11% of children under the age of 5 and pregnant and breastfeeding women to be suffering from moderate acute malnutrition and 3% suffering from severe acute malnutrition. Since the start of the pandemic, 94% of respondents reported that prices for food and other essentials in their local markets have increased, while 82% said they had lost income or revenue. Only 7% said they had enough savings to cope with a prolonged crisis. In Western Africa, in Nigeria's conflict-stricken northeast, the number of children treated by the outpatient nutrition program grew by 20%, while the number of severe malnutrition cases grew by 10% compared with the same period last year. Hunger and malnutrition are worsening in parts of the African continent because of the coronavirus pandemic, especially in low-income communities or those already stricken by continued conflict. According to a survey of 2,400 people in 10 African countries by the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, since the start of the pandemic, 94% responses as food prices rise is that their food intake have reduced. We see rise in malnutrition because families can't afford enough food. Yes. So what is then a full basket of food in the context of COVID-19? It means the possibility of plenty of food during the time of COVID. Is this then possible? Yes, it's possible. when we focus on the ways we can have full basket of food in the context of COVID-19, which will be listed out in the course of this presentation. What causes hunger? Worldwide, the number of hungry people has dropped significantly over the past 2 decades, but 821 million people continue to struggle with hunger every day. Many factors contribute to the state of hunger both in the United States and abroad. The reasons are complex and varied and often interconnected. Poverty is the main cause of hunger in the world. Most people who are hungry are living in extreme poverty. The largest group of people in the world in extreme poverty are smallholder farmers in developing countries. They do not have the land to grow enough food to supply themselves with enough to eat year-round, and then earn so little income from what they sell that they cannot afford to purchase food from other sources once their own supply runs out. Another cause of hunger is what? Job instability. In the United States and other high-income countries, hunger is mainly caused by poverty that results from a lack of jobs or because jobs pay too small. Hunger rates rise when the national or local economy is in a slump. People lost jobs and cannot find food in the context of COVID-19 pandemic. Another cause of hunger is a food shortage and waste. Food shortages in developing countries are common. The people most affected are smallholder farmers and their families who depend on their own surplus to survive between harvests. The period leading up to a harvest is known as the hungry season. Food from the previous harvest runs out and families cut back on meals. This period of time may last for months depending on the size of the previous harvest. Families cut back on how much they eat and then eventually skip meals altogether on some days, which eventually results to hunger. Another point is poor infrastructure. Poor infrastructure causes hunger by making it sometimes difficult to transport food to areas of a country where there are shortages due to bad roads. Irrigation infrastructure is unaffordable to most farmers in developing countries. Lack of water and sanitation infrastructure are leading causes of hunger and malnutrition. Women and girls in developing countries spend hours each day fetching water because of a lack of infrastructure, which exposes them to abuse. That is the gender-based violence we're talking about against women and girls. Another point that causes hunger is the climate change. Climate change is damaging food and water security in significant ways. This is the greatest environmental challenge the world has ever faced. Burning fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? They are what? Coal, oil, and gas. Produces what? Carbon dioxide. All these things, when they are burnt, they produce what? Carbon dioxide. Cutting down rainforest and farming livestock produces large amounts of greenhouse, which produces greenhouse effect and global warming. Another point is the nutritional quality, poor nutritional quality. All people who are hungry and malnourished, they are not getting enough protein. So they lose a lot of weight, weight loss, and in severe cases, their bodies begin to waste. Another form of malnutrition is known as hidden hunger, and it has more to do with the quality of food they eat. All people require certain nutrients to live a healthy life, and when they don't consume sufficient amounts, they can become sick and even die. Infants or young children between pregnancy and age 2 are most vulnerable to the harmful effect of hunger. Yes, that is why Emejigu Favor Discovery Foundation, one of the projects we are working on is what enhancing the nutritional value of children in the society. It's not about the number of food you eat, but it's about the basic nutrients being consumed. Another point is discrimination. Discrimination in most countries are racial, ethnic, or religious, minorities issues. Among all of these groups, women and girls are more disadvantaged and than their male counterparts. Discrimination is why women farmers in developing countries labor with fewer productive resources than their male counterparts. Why women in all sectors of the economy earn less than men, and why girls are pulled out of school to work or to marry. These are the things that eventually lead to gender-based violence against women and girls. Another point is pandemic. In other countries is what is war. All these things, they bring about hunger. Diminishing availability of land soil degradation. Degradation of land soil quality and quantity can diminish its availability. Pressure on land resources shows up as declining crops production. You can imagine people from other countries, what they do, they try to pile land. Oh, this is my land, I inherited it from my father, I inherited it from my mother, and they keep piling, they're not using it. And meanwhile, those lands can be used to farm. So we can do what? We get more for food, availability of food, full basket of food in the country. Another point is lack of equipment of farm implementation. Farmers lack seeding equipment and implements for carrying out operations. This is also one of the projects we are working on to see how we can, get equipment for women in communities, get a space for them. Women and girls, they expose themselves a lot to abuse, violence, and so many things. But when these things are provided in communities, it reduces the stress, it reduces the work, it reduces them from being exposed to all of these things. So, ways we can have a full basket of food in the context of COVID-19. This is the most important thing we are talking about. The ways we can have a full basket of food in the context of COVID-19. Yeah, everybody, listen. This is very important. Improving crop yield. Cultivating seedlings that are pest resistant. That is what we should look out for. Seedlings that are what? Pest resistant. When we get seedlings that are pest resistant, then we'll be able to cultivate crops that will yield a good food for us. And then the next point is improving what? Processing and preservation. Processing and preserving perishable foods to reduce damage, spoilage, losses, and unnecessary wastage of food produce. I sometimes visited a farmland and I saw a lot of waste, perishable food being wasted. I saw it on the floor and I was like, why are they wasting this food? Now, this food can be converted to something else. It can be converted to manure. It can be converted to nutritious food. It can be converted to so many things. Why are we wasting food? Why are we throwing those foods away? Farmers, there are ways we can convert those damaged foods, those wasted food to something nutritious. Fertilizer, converting damaged and expired waste product to manure is in order to grow more fruits. They can be converted. This is one of the things we'll be talking on next year, 2021. We will train farmers on how to convert food into, or food that is supposed to be wasted into nutrients or manures. Now the next one is capacity building. We oblige farmers to obtain new skills. We want to carry out, training on farmers. We want to train them on, skills development, how they can make use of their skill, how they can be innovative. This is very important. And then the next point is empowerment generation, increasing farmers' income and exports, growth. Increase when they cultivate and then they are able to harvest. do they need a job anymore? No, farmers don't need job anymore. When they concentrate on what they are doing and they are effective and make use of that opportunity with what the farmers are doing, they can gain so much. They can make so much money from what they do. So this is possible. A full basket of food in the context of COVID, it's very, very possible. It's about innovation, it's about mentality, it's about skill development, it's about knowledge. Now, the next point is product development. I identified the product. My organization identified a product to solve problems. What problem do we want to solve? We want to solve the problem of malnutrition in the society. That's the problem we want to solve. We carried out several research and then we came up with what we're going to use to solve this problem. So everyone be innovative, discover things. Maybe is it because I'm a food scientist or technologist? It's not all about that. It's all about being innovative. So the next is what? Community development. Members should take action on zero hunger to eradicate poverty. Don't wait for farmers. Everyone is involved in this. Everyone is involved in this. So everyone needs to sit up and fight against hunger. Now the next is what? Agro Processing Center, APC, also helps create additional value to product so as to increase marketability of surplus produce available in the village, cluster of village or surrounding locality. Yes, this is the secret. Agro Processing Center. Agro, we want to help the women and the girls, and that is why we want to carry out this Agro Processing Center. This is our project, one of our projects. And then the next point is what? Support and development of the private sector machinery in the area of fabrication, repairs, and maintenance. We need to supply, as in support and the development of the private sector machinery. We need to support farmers. So we have a lot of machinery that can help reduce work. Yeah, we come up with that. Private sector, we repair. There's a lot to do, so we can have full basket of food in the context of COVID-19. The next point is provide options for adaptation to climate change in a way that supports community livelihood and environmental sustainability. And then the next is focusing more on nutritional food produce to enhance nutrition. See, it's not all about the junk people eat or people take or people consume. It's all about how nutritious whatever thing we are taking is. The basic nutrient is important. And that is why Immaterial Favor Discovery Foundation is working on we've carried out the research and we are coming up with a product to enhance the nutritional requirements of especially children, young people in the society. Yeah, I'm going to talk about policy recommendations and suggestions. This would help our country. Zero hunger should be introduced into national development plans with targets and indicators for hunger, food security, nutrition, and sustainability and sustainable agriculture, and should be financed accordingly in the context of COVID-19. Yeah, everyone should help. Government should help. Society should help. Individuals should help. And then it will help us accomplish this goal of a full basket of food in the context of COVID-19. Another point is investment to zero hunger should be included into the national budget's requirements with relationship with the financial ministry. Relate with them, come up with a budget, invest, and then let's get a full basket of food in the context of COVID-19. The next point is promote nutritious and sustainable diets through agricultural, environmental, and social policies that influence what food is produced and consumed. It's very important. Food scientists and nutritionists, sit up. We need to sit up. Let's go carry out more research and come up with foods that are nutritious. We can convert to do so many things. Let's not just sit back. Let's help in accomplishing this goal. A full basket of food in the context of COVID-19. Another point is promote innovative approaches that are economically to everyone to be part of the solution of climate change. Government should help us. Let's, with some funds we can we can train people, farmers that are innovative in their approaches. We can most times graduates or some individuals don't want to go into farming. They feel, what are they doing safe? Is it not just to go and suffer there? No, because they are not motivated, because they are not encouraged. So they feel that is just the area of poor men or poor people. No, everyone can be involved. Another point I'm talking about is promote sustainable agriculture, supporting small scale farmers and equal access to lead technology and market. Let's encourage farmers, small scale farmers. Let's promote what they cultivate. And then the technology that are needed, we can train them. Since they don't have access to this technology, we can train them to be technological inclined so they can work with it and do their best to help to accomplish this goal of full baskets in the context of COVID-19. Another point is prevent food wastage and promote innovative approaches to prevent food from damage and spoilage, especially perishable goods. I've said it earlier. We should not allow farmers, whoever, should not allow food to waste. Be creative, be innovative. Oh, what can you get from soybeans? Oh, what can you get from vegetables? We have several vegetables that we can convert into either food or medicine. As a food scientist, we believe that food can be medicine, but medicine cannot be food. So to just sum up these policy and recommendation, I would like the government should make it available for children to get free accessibility for nutritional requirements below the age of 5 to reduce mortality. Please make it free nutrition or free nutrients to be available for children from 5 years old and below. Please, this is very important, especially children in rural areas, to reduce the rate of mortality. This is terrible. It's very, very terrible. If the governments are willing, we can present our proposal of how to, enhancing the nutritional requirements of children. That's the project we are working on. We need support. We need the government to, to, come up, as in show interest that they are willing, and then we work together to see how we can help these children in rural communities. This is all I have to say for a basket full of food in the context of COVID. Yeah, it's doable. I don't know if there's any question. I'd like you to send your question across. Thank you so much for listening. Do have a blessed day.